dangerous. More than 20,000 NATO troops joined to help the border between Finland and Russia. A first-of-its-kind training exercise involving more than 20,000 soldiers from 13 countries was launched across northern Norway, Sweden, and Finland, and the region is preparing to become a fully NATO territory within days. The Joint Defense Exercise, which runs until March 14, was previously known as Cold Response and held in northern Norway, a founding NATO member, every other year. In recognition of Finland's recent membership of the Western Military Alliance, and with Sweden expected to join imminently, this year it is being designated Nordic Response for the first time. The training exercise across air, land, and sea, which will also include soldiers from the UK, US, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Canada, will incorporate a cross-border operations exercise in the Arctic Circle.
Keep away.
The Norwegian military said the exercise was intended to demonstrate a unique level of cooperation and interoperability as they cross borders on land, sea, and air. Nordic Response is part of an ongoing series of NATO exercises, Steadfast Defender, involving 90,000 soldiers. It is also closely aligned with the UK-led naval exercise Joint Warrior, which ran between Scotland, Norway, and Iceland last week. The latest exercise, which started on Sunday, will involve more than 50 submarines, frigates, corvettes, aircraft carriers, and amphibious vessels at sea, over 100 combat, maritime surveillance and transport aircraft, and thousands of soldiers on the ground using artillery systems, tanks, and tracked vehicles. Most of the activity will be centered on northern Troms County and the west of Finnmark County in Norway. Still, there will also be maritime activity along the coast of the north of the country and exercises across borders in northern Finland and Sweden. The newly elected Finnish President, Alexander Stubb, the Norwegian Prime Minister, Jonas Gahr Støre, and the Swedish Crown Princess, Victoria, are all scheduled to visit. The Swedish government is anxiously awaiting Hungary's final sign-off to complete its NATO membership. It had been hoped the process could have been finished last week, but having only been signed by the Speaker of Hungary's parliament on Sunday, it still needs to be signed by the President before the documentation can go to Washington. Last Monday, Hungary's parliament approved the historically neutral country's membership, nearly 2 years after it submitted its application. Finland became a member in April last year. The Norwegian military said the Nordic response was aimed at strengthening Nordic cooperation and, in turn, bolstering the alliance's ability to defend the region. All relevant countries, including Russia, had been informed of the exercise, it said. With Finland and soon Sweden as allied neighbors, the exercise contributes to closer Nordic integration within the framework of NATO, the Norwegian military said in a statement. The exercise also strengthens operational total defense cooperation in the Nordic countries, which results in better cooperation in peace, crisis, and conflict. Closer operational cooperation in the Nordic region strengthens NATO's ability to defend the Nordic region. The Finnish Security and Intelligence Service warned Sweden on Friday of increased threats from Russia after the country officially became the 32nd NATO member, ending decades of neutrality in the wake of the war in Ukraine. Finland, which shares a 1,340-kilometer, 830-mile long border with Russia, joined NATO on April 4, 2023, after Russia began its special military operation in Ukraine on February 24, 2022. In December, Finland closed its border with Russia, with the Finnish authorities accusing Moscow of carrying out a suspected hybrid attack and purposefully assisting undocumented migrants in crossing into the Nordic country, which Russia denied. NATO membership escalated tensions between the countries, and Turunen expressed that Finland is now regarded by Russia as an unfriendly country, which means measures against us. However, Finnish and Swedish authorities believe that even if NATO membership leads to increased threats from Moscow in the short term, the alliance cooperation will strengthen the members' military preparedness in the long term. According to the Finnish authorities, since joining the Western Military Alliance, Russian operations against the country have increased sharply. Finnish Security and Intelligence Service, SUPO, warned that the same development may await Sweden. We have to be ready. SUPO's acting head, Teemu Turunen, told Swedish local broadcaster SVT Nyheter. You should never underestimate the capabilities of the Russian intelligence service. They are skilled, and we must be ready, he added.
We're gonna have to do the diesel first. Tim, we're gonna do diesel first.
Area?
We'll be down here, but we're just doing this one fly and then we're pushing out. So
Yeah, we get it.
we're unloading MREs in the truck right now, and then.